Alright, so I'm back again. It's just going to be a quick refresher on the same message that I just delivered. I got the first version I already posted on IGTV. This one I'm going to download it and share it on the other platforms. I really like the fact that we got this little green screen filter that I can put these key individuals up. We know who, you may or may not know who Representative John Lewis is. He was one of the people that took some lumps, bumps, and bruises and some beatings walking across Edmund Pettus Bridge on Bloody Sunday. So he's a civil rights activist figure that we lost this past week. But he's one that he was a light for our community. And he stood up for our rights, our beliefs. He fought for us. Fought for people, period. Then we have Reverend C.T. Vivian. We know he participated in freedom rides, things of that nature. And he's also a freedom fighter. You know, he fought for our civil rights, fought against social injustices and things of that nature. And the gentleman here, John Washington, if you did not know, back in the 70s, he played for the University of Memphis, the Memphis Tigers. And before Kaepernick, before Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, John Washington, he's one that took it upon himself to protest racism, social injustices, and things of that nature by not participating in the national anthem. There were some people on that team that should have supported him and joined him in his protest, but it ended up being only him. While you may have a lot of historic background on the first two, Mr. Washington here, I just feel like it's very interesting that his name is John also. He's one that fought for our freedoms, our rights. He fought against social injustices. He's 6'11", basically 7 feet tall. We probably would have known him as an NBA basketball player. But he ended up being blackballed, just like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, just like Colin Kaepernick is currently still being blackballed. So we got people that's been out here on the front lines that don't have the fame and the notoriety. We got people out here fighting behind the scenes that you may never even known they took a lump, bump, or bruise for you. Yeah, it was for them too, but it was for you. So all these people, each one of these individuals we lost this past week, and they all were light. They all were light. They all helped me to embrace my role and my position as a messenger and making sure my light shines bright. Whether that's through my action, activism, my communication, or my work in the community. Alright. But the title of today's message is Be Light. Be Light. It comes from the book of John. The book of John. Yes, the book of John. And the 11th chapter. The key verse is verse 35. Jesus wept. Jesus wept. I'm going to talk about Jesus wept for just a moment. Because to me, while Jesus was so powerful, he seemed like he was just so far up in this higher position. So far beyond or so much better than what a normal person was. But yet and still, he had the awareness and the compassion and the empathy to not, well, empathy and sympathy, to just empathize and sympathize with those who had lost their loved one. And he's somebody that I knew, family, man. I mean, big spirit, big person, fun, friendly, big kid, gentle giant. But when Jesus wept, that lets me know that, hey, you know what? He really sees, he feels, he understands, he's aware of the impact that things like this can do to people. Now, throughout this chapter, we know Mary and Bethany were Lazarus. Well, in Bethany, where Mary and Martha lived, they were Lazarus' sisters. And Lazarus, he fell ill. Jesus received the message. When he received the message, he said the sickness is not to end in death. All right. But it is to honor God and to promote his glory, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. So right here, he knew that, hey, there's another moment for me to shed some light on what we are capable of and what we can do. But everybody didn't take it that way. So he stayed where he was for 2 days, and then after that interval, he says to his disciples, let us go back again to Judea. But in verse 8, the disciples say, Rabbi, the Jews only recently were intending and trying to stone you. And are you thinking of going back there again? So here, they nervous and shook, scared, thinking that, okay, they were just trying to kill you, man. Why you trying to go back over there? They getting all nervous. They over here worried about what they gonna do, but they're not even thinking about what Jesus is gonna do. They've been riding with Jesus all this time, but they still got these doubts and fears. And I mean, that's human. But at the same time, it's like, hold on, man, you rolling with the one. This the guy. This the dude. This the superhero. This the resurrection. This the Almighty. Like, why would they have doubt? But a lot of time we have people that are just that way. They may know that we got the power to accomplish this magnificent feat, but they still like, oh no, but they gonna do this and this gonna happen and that might happen and wait a minute, we gotta go. If you about that action, if you about that life, yes, you have to go. They were about action. They were about their life. Whatever the consequences were, that's what it was. Jesus answered them, are there not 12 hours in the day? Anyone who walks about in the daytime does not stumble because he sees by the light of this world. But if anyone walks about in the night, he does stumble because there is no light in him. The light is lacking to him. When it's daytime, you can see where you're going. You can see where you come from. You can see what you are doing. If you go into a dark room, you turn on the light, you can see what's going on. But too often we out here paying attention to stuff that we shouldn't pay attention to. Out here participating in stuff that we shouldn't participate in. Out here investing so much energy and time and effort in something that is not our principle, that is not our purpose, that is not our role, that is not the objective that we are set here to do. And we getting distracted. We've lost focus. And we losing. Because we need to pay attention to God, what God has set out here for us to do. What is that purpose? And when you understand that, it's refreshing. It's like a light. Because I know if you think about light, people take light lightly. But think about light. Enlightenment, a realization, an awareness, a clearing, a light has shined on the situation. Delight, happy, a pleasant experience, something that delights you, something that makes you happy, joyful. We got to operate in our light. We got to find that light that we are. We got to operate in that light. Now, when I read the 10th and 11th, that really jumped out to me because if you have seen Bruce Lee's 30 for 30, Be Water, that message stuck with me as well. Be water, be able to adapt, be powerful, be gentle, be refreshing, things of that nature. But you know what? I'm guessing, I don't know, I wasn't there. When Bruce Lee figured out be water, however he felt when he came to that realization, when I read this and I thought about, wait a minute, be light. Be light. That's it. Somebody's going to use your light. Somebody's going to see your light. Somebody's going to benefit from your light. You and someone else's light, y'all may get together and y'all may shine even brighter. While we know he worked, Representative John Lewis worked in government. We know Representative John Lewis worked in government. Reverend C.T. Vivian worked in the pulpit. We know that John, he worked on the basketball court. He played overseas. He coached. He came back and he also worked in the school system before, after he finished playing basketball. But before his unfortunate demise, he was working for the school system, working with kids, children. So that light is gonna shine bright wherever you can. But you know what? You can't don't let anybody use your light for the wrong reason. Okay? So Jesus is the light, and they still down like, you want to go back over your light? But y'all should have been like, hey man, let's go. Let's go, man. We with Jesus. It's what it is. It's what we're gonna do. We'll be alright. And just go. Now, the disciples also were still doubting him, even after he makes his point about, hey man, don't you see in the light? Can you see in the dark? Well, you rolling with the light, so you might as well roll on. The disciples answered, Lord, if he is sleeping, he will recover. They're like, but if he sleep, he should be straight, right? He should be okay, right? He just sleeping. They still worried about what's going on over there. However, Jesus spoke to him, However, Jesus had spoken of his death, but they thought he had been referring to falling into a refreshing natural sleep. But listen to what Jesus said after he's tried to explain it 3 different ways. This got to be something that I know some people feel. I know teachers feel this from time to time when you just like, okay, I've done all this and you all still don't get it. And for your sake, I am glad I was not there. It will help you to believe, to trust, and rely on me. However, let us go. It sounds like Jesus was ready to pop off on y'all, on his disciples. Like, man, do y'all not realize who I am? But he ain't toot his own horn. He ain't, he ain't do all that. He just said, man, look. I'm glad I was not there because you all still wouldn't get it. That's basically what he said. And some of the things that these people have done, people still don't get the impact. People still don't understand why they did it. People still don't get the big picture. Sometimes some people are willfully blind. But you know what? The visionaries got to keep forging their vision. They got to keep fulfilling their purpose. They got to keep moving toward their goal and accomplish their objectives. All right? But while you have naysayers, you do have some that's like, you know what? I'm about that life. So after Jesus plainly tells him that he was dead, and for his sake he wished that he's glad that he was not there, Thomas, who was called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, let us go too, that we may die along with him. Thomas ride or die. If Thomas was on that Edmund Pettus Bridge, he would have been ready to walk and face those law enforcement, state troopers, people that, the racist law enforcement state troopers that tried to stop people from non-violently marching across a bridge. Ride or die. Twin would have been right there on that freedom bus, taking the freedom ride with Reverend C.T. Vivian when they know that these people may destroy this bus, trying to derail their movement, try and kill them out without even a tip, without even a smidgen of care. They know they would. Mr. Washington knew what would happen, but there was some people that came and looked out for him. Some people that looked out for him. Nah, it wasn't a church. It was Fruits of Islam. They came and looked out for him. They protected him. They stepped up. But you know what? He was ride or die. If Thomas was on that team, he probably would have protested with Mr. Washington. So everybody needs them a Thomas, needs them a twin that can say, hey, let's go along. If we going to battle, we going to fight. We ain't come to run. A couple weeks ago, I got on, well, not long ago, I got on here and said, don't run from the storm, don't wait for the storm, don't sit in the storm, go through that storm. And that's what we got to do. Now, as he makes his way to Bethany, he, touched base with Martha and Mary, and they go to meet, and some other Jews follow, and I'm getting over to verse 35 now. When Jesus saw her sobbing, when Mary came to the place where Jesus was and saw him, she dropped down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. When Jesus saw her sobbing and the Jews who came with her also sobbing, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. And he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. So once again, we got some people in positions of power and leadership that they don't want to see. Willful blindness. They don't want to see. They just will not see the forest for the trees. They're not going to care about the lesser person, that small percentage. They're not going to care about the big picture. They're going to care about themselves. That's what they're going to do with these jobs, with this economy. We got some people that really in positions of power over these districts, over these counties and cities and government. These people do not care. They just trying to make their money. They don't care if things change or if things stay the same. They just want to get what they gonna get. They don't see how much better off it could be if they try and, and be a little bit more inclusive and considerate of things. All right. So sometimes you need a twin in your life that's gonna be like, hey, we're gonna ride or die. But you know what? Sometimes you need those leaders that's gonna be able to be compassionate enough, have some empathy and awareness that, hey, you know what? My people need me. All right. So I'm gonna just go down to. I'm gonna skip down to verse 49 and 50. I'm almost done. But when he went to the tomb, he had been in there for 4 days, and he told Lazarus come out, and he came and walked out. All right. But when, upon seeing Jesus had done, as many Jews who had come believed him, which is like, hey, wait a minute, this the man, this the guy, this is the Son of the Almighty, this is the light. Some believed, but you still had those. But you know what? They was filled with darkness anyway. They want to go back and dry snitch. Some went back to the Pharisees and told them what Jesus had done. So the chief priests and the Pharisees called a meeting of the council and said, what are we to do? For this man performs many signs of evidence and miracles. If we let him go on doing this, everyone will believe in him and adhere to him, and the Romans will come and suppress and destroy and take away our holy place and our nation and temple and city and our civil organization. The sky falling. Jesus ain't coming to do none of that. He ain't coming to take nothing from y'all. He came to give you all something. And a lot of times you all got to realize that sometimes people have a lot more to give than you give them credit for. A lot of times people have a lot more to offer than you even consider. But you don't, because you're too busy worrying about, worrying about pleasing somebody else that really don't care about you. You worried about doing something else that really is not going to amount to nothing. You worried about checking off this box or this list or something that really ain't nothing but a piece of paper. You so wrapped up in what you got going on that you ain't even focused on your real purpose, your real role. But you know what? God puts people in position and places to talk to those people in those different areas and different levels. Because think about this. But Caiaphas was the high priest that year, declared, "You know nothing at all." And so many people out here know nothing at all. They got all this information. They may have 100 degrees, and they think they just know everything. Got all the freaking answers. And then you got some that don't have any credentials and qualification, and they think they got all the freaking answers, but they don't know squat. And then you have some people that really out here know something and are willing to just say, "Hey, you know what? I may not know about that, but I can figure it out." Or, "That is not my area. Let me find somebody that can help you in that area." Instead of sitting here pretending and lying, trying to act like you know so much when you don't know anything at all. We need some people like that step up, that's on these boards and in these other positions and stuff like that. Say, "Look, man, you don't know nothing. You know nothing. You out here making decisions on people's lives, and you know nothing at all. Nor do you have the reasonable understanding that it is expedient and better for your own welfare that one man should die on behalf of the people than that the whole nation should perish." You are gonna ruin everything, but you don't care. You will kill your whole body to save your face. But what sense, what your face, what good is your face if you ain't even got a body that is attached to it? Y'all probably heard the little saying. I took it a little bit further. Cut off your nose despite your face. Y'all will cut off your whole body just so you can be at the head. But if you ain't got no body, what are you the head of? Now he did say this simply of his own accord. He was not self-moved, but being the high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus was going to die for that nation. He already knew what's going to happen. He may not knew the minute or the hour, the day or the night, but he knew that it was a bigger picture. It was a bigger matter that was being addressed through God sending Jesus to come down here and do what he did. Now, for that reason, Jesus no longer appeared publicly among the Jews, but left there and retired to the district that borders the wilderness. And then the chief priests of the Pharisees had given orders that if anyone knew where he was, should report to him so that they might arrest him. This person has done nothing but help someone. This person has done nothing but give to others. This person has done nothing but speak the truth, be honest, and direct. This person did that. That person did that. That person did that. But they were punished for it. So I just want to let you know, don't do what's easy. Do what's right. Don't do what's easy. Do what's right. And be light. You got to be there for you. You have to be there for yours, your family, your friends, your community, your loved one, that team, whatever position it is you have to play. Do it to the best of your ability. Fulfill your gifts. Don't be like, have a Mamba mentality. Don't just be content with the gift. Improve those gifts. Enhance those gifts. But be light. Because a lot of times, I think I said it before earlier, we take light too lightly. All these people, they did not take light lightly. They knew that there's going to be some consequences for their action, good or bad. But you know what? They were living there today for tomorrow. Yesterday may have been cursed, but they living today for tomorrow. You know, today prepares you for your future. So what you do now matters. It may take a while for you to see the results, the benefits, but what you do now, don't delay it. Don't put it off. Be light. Because oftentimes we sign up for man's position, but we got to realize we have a higher appointment. And that appointment is appointed by the Most High. Therefore, it comes with an anointment. You know, that holy ointment that they spread on your forehead? Well, it's something that's been supplanted in your brain that God says, go forth and do. Go forth and be. Go forth and act. Go forth and show. Oftentimes, man has a list of qualifications. But you know what? Those aren't necessarily to qualify you. Those are more so to disqualify you. You know that? You know that? You may check all the boxes but one, but they may want that box checked the most. You know that? But man can disqualify you. But God will find a way to qualify you. And you know what? Even though they disqualify you, that's cool because everybody can't play on the same team. Everybody don't play on the same role. And some people just aren't meant to work together. So you're going to find your spot. You will find your place. But just know that you got to play your position. You got to fulfill your role. You got to do your part. Because your appointment has been anointed. Your appointment is an anointment. But I just want you to know when that word hits you, that water will flow. And I just want you all to make sure you live your life accordingly. But I most certainly want you to let your light shine bright. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And at night, you may have to glow. In the dark, you may have to glow. In that light, you may just shine bright. But just be light. Thank you.